Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing a video that's been kind of long overdue. Today I'm going to be doing a sketchbook tour. Last year I started getting into art, so this is my first sketchbook that I have completed. This is very long overdue because I've actually finished this sketchbook in May. Yeah, in May. So I originally was going to do this video like the whole thing through, but I did not realize how long the video would actually be, so I divided it into two parts so you guys wouldn't have to suffer through a 20-minute video. So the second part to the sketchbook tour will be out on Thursday, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. Alright. Here is the very first piece I painted in this sketchbook / art journal kind of thing. I didn't like it at first for some reason, but now looking back at it, I'm actually pretty proud of it. The second piece I did was kind of a simple landscape with a pretty galaxy-like background and some mountains. Here's another simple landscape I wasn't proud of for a moment, but looking back at it actually is pretty good. This piece I actually think I got from a tutorial, so if I ever find out who was the original creator of this piece, I will give credit to them in the description. This piece was a simple kind of galaxy-like landscape. Oh, I actually have a funny story about this next piece. My mom asked me to paint her this black and white landscape painting because she thought it would be really pretty. So I painted it in my journal, and since I became attached to the piece, every single time I become attached to my painting, I don't want to give it up. So I literally ran it through the scanner and gave her a photocopy of the piece. And looking back at it, that is such a mean thing for a daughter to do. Like, after all that my mom has done for me, and I just did that. I actually don't really have that problem anymore. I'm able to kind of detach myself from the painting. I've given my mom some paintings now, and I don't have a problem with it anymore. Like, is that just an artist thing to get attached to your pieces like that and not want to give them away? Or do I just have a problem? Like, I'm not even joking. I have so many pieces that I have painted, and almost all of them are on my wall. I just get super attached to them, Anyway, this next piece, when I made it, for some reason I did not like how it turned out, but looking back at it, it actually looks really good, so I don't know why I thought that in the first place. Now, in this next piece that you'll see here, I painted it with only my blue paints and no other color that I owned. I'm actually really proud of it. I wasn't sure how it would turn out. Come to think of it, on this channel, I should do that challenge again where I only use one color and can't use any other color. I think it would make a really interesting piece, in my opinion. Now, this next piece, I was super stressed out that day, so that's why the colors were like super muddy and dark. I couldn't really focus on making the piece nice, but looking at it again, it actually isn't too bad. Do you guys notice a pattern here? Like, all the pieces I don't like at first, like when I look at them again, I wonder why I didn't. Yeah, that usually happens to me. I don't know if it happens to you as an artist, but for me personally, it happens to me every single time I finish a piece. Now, this next piece was kind of to spread awareness. I did a watercolor background, and I painted Mother Nature and basically painted someone pointing a gun, and on the top of the gun were cities. Now, here was a portrait I attempted to do. I was getting a little annoyed because it wasn't turning out the way I wanted to, so I just used the extra paint and put a handprint over her face. But it actually looks kind of good that way because it looks almost abstract. This next picture I think I did from a tutorial as well. I I really should have added credits at the bottom, but I was still kind of a beginner artist and I didn't really think about that. But if I ever do find out who originally painted this piece, I will. Now, this was originally a watercolor piece, but I was really unhappy with how it turned out, so I ended up painting over it with craft paint. And I really wish I didn't, because I can't really track my progress with my art because I just painted over it. Now, I'm in no way trying to deprecate myself or ask for compliments from people, but this piece, no matter how many times I look at it, I still don't really like it for some reason, so that's all I have to say about it. Now, this piece I really love. It's like a mandala kind of cat that I drew, and I painted it in with my glitter watercolors. Now, for some reason, this next landscape I absolutely love too. I'm not quite sure why. Anyway, this next page was me just practicing some flowers with watercolors. And the next piece was an abstract portrait of someone just crying, kind of. So I used my watercolors because I thought it would bring out a really good effect. Now, this next piece, I tried to use my watercolor pencils for this, but I simply could not get them to melt. And I believe it's because it's not the best quality watercolor pencils. I try not to blame my artwork on cheaper quality, but in this case, I think that's the case because they would not melt. No matter how much water I put on, they would not melt or blend out. Sorry for the short rant there. Now, this next piece was when I got into my watercolor phase because that was around my birthday and my mom had gotten me this huge set of watercolors. And when I painted this piece, at first I thought I was doing something wrong because I was expecting it to lay on thick because I'm used to working with acrylic and craft paint, and I was not expecting the transparency of it. Now, this next piece was my technical first watercolor portrait. I'm actually really proud of this one. Even though the proportions are not exactly perfect, for it being the first time of me drawing a portrait and using watercolor for a portrait, I think I did pretty good. And these last two pages for part 1 of my sketchbook tour are just basically some watercolor landscapes that I practiced so I could get the feel of the medium. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry if you find it a little boring because I rambled on a bit during it. And as always, if you want your artwork featured on my channel, do check out the details in the description box down below. If you want to check out my Instagram, I will link that down as well. And if you want to see the part 2 to this sketchbook tour, I will be posting it on Thursday this week, but do turn on your post notifications because I have no idea just yet when I will be able to get the video done. And thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next video. Take care.